This video is sponsored by Van Digital, a social media, virtual assistance, and web design agency.
Okay, welcome back. This is part 2 to forgiveness, how to forgive. Let's get right into it. So, I left off by saying that we should forgive ourselves. Hold on to that. Now, forgiveness works as a cord cutting of sorts. You're cutting the cord between the old version of you, the situation, and any resentment or anger that you had towards that person or that place. I view forgiveness as a way of refreshing your spirit, because resentment, holding grudges are heavy. I think this is also a good way of relieving yourself of other people's negative energy, because you can say, Father or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please forgive these people because they know not what they're doing. And the Bible does say that when you forgive and you bless your enemies, you're essentially pouring hot coals on their head. Then again, intention is always key. You can't go and forgive someone just for that to happen. It won't work. Number 3, forgiveness doesn't equal reconciliation. So, against popular opinion, I believe God will tell you to stay away from people who will put you in harm's way, especially if they don't repent, right? For example, Dawood and Saul, or David and Saul in the Bible. Okay, David had to run for his life away from Saul, but he didn't hold a grudge, and even when he had the opportunity to kill Saul, he didn't. I think that is also the definition of meekness, right? And look at all that David inherited. All in all, David still ran for his life. And up until God handled that situation, he was right to do so. Now we're going to talk about forgiveness of self. You have to forgive yourself for accepting that treatment, because it takes two to tango. In every situation, it is two people. Even if you are victimized, that is still a role that you have played. And forgiving yourself and accepting that, yes, you accepted that treatment, you should have left earlier, you should have cut this person off. These are all grounds to forgive yourself and free yourself. Not to beat yourself up, and not to put yourself down, basically. This is where you take accountability for your actions or non-action. Now, this is definitely very heavy and a very heavy topic, and not everybody can easily forgive situations, especially if somebody has hurt you legitimately. I'm not talking about petty things like someone doesn't want to date you, they've made that known nicely. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real grievous things. So if you cannot go through the forgiveness process yourself, that is okay. Forgiveness is kind of like a thorough house cleaning exercise for the heart. And the heart is fragile. So you can have someone help you, intercede on your behalf, and guide you with the help of God or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, and Jesus Christ. And you can ask them for help. And they are very speedy in that aspect because God, Jesus, they don't want people to hoard pain and resentment in their heart. So when you ask for help to forgive, it's instantaneous. Lastly, forgiveness is alchemical in nature. Or, it's a way of turning lemons into lemonade. Turning your hand and making fashion, as some would say. Or some people would say turning into shinola. Or lead into gold. Alchemy is turning one thing into another via a purification process. So in one hand, you will take the situation that weighs heavily on you, and through a purification process, as in forgiveness, you can turn it and channel it into something beneficial for you. So, for example, let's say you're being bullied because of how you look, your weight. You can forgive the people that have done this to you. And I speak from experience, as I used to be close to 400 pounds. And I've kept off all the weight for close to a decade. So I know what I'm talking about. You can either turn it into fuel and boost your self-confidence, knowing that people have gone out of their way to use their energy and their attention to feed you, and turn that into self-confidence. Or you can use it as fuel to get fit and boost your workouts with their energy, and allow your heart to be as light as a feather while looking good while you do it. So most importantly, learn the lesson and grow. And forgive others so God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Jesus can forgive you as well, and whoever else you believe in.